Dude, that guy was a total dweeb, but he plays in another movie that like nobody knows.
Dude, I have the same experience.
Vindication. Welcome to Screenwoven, your hub for all things story. Dang it. I don't know why I keep getting that wrong.
I don't know either, man.
Stories, your hub for all things stories. One day, I'm going to get it tattooed on my arm. Story.
I mean, we could just change it to story because that makes sense too.
I mean, it's what
it'll help you out.
Your hub for both.
Yeah.
Your hub for one singular story or all of them. Whatever you're looking for, we've got it.
That's right.
But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Episode 19, we're coming up on the big 2-0. Daniel and I have had a little behind the scenes discussion of what we want to do for that one. I wanted it to be something kind of special and like a big event. I've had one idea that we've talked about. I don't know if that's what we're going to stick with, land on, whatever. You know, if he's more creative than me. So if he comes up with something better, I'm happy to pivot.
That's not true.
I'm not happy to pivot?
Right.
Okay. I'll be miserable, but I'll do it. But no, we're excited to have you guys here and still be doing this. And yeah, with that, let's jump into all of the news, man. Like there was a lot. I was telling you before we started recording, just tons of stuff has been coming out. Of course, it has been like 3 weeks since we've gotten to meet up, so that's part of it too. But so yeah, like okay, let's start here. Spider-Man movie. Let's start with the bad.
I loved the movie.
It was great. That's the bad. So let's go to the good. No. I wish we had seen it.
Yeah.
Tom Holland reportedly all production shut down for about a week or 10 days as Tom Holland and his stunt double were rushed to the hospital with concussions and head injuries. I know it's not funny that happened, but the thing that made that funny to me is I was like, if it didn't work for one of them, why did the other one try it?
I think they were having a Sudoku battle.
Oh, and
No, it was just so hard to think of the numbers.
that their thoughts concussed them. Yeah, I don't know how in the world they both got. I mean, you never see the actor and the stunt double doing the stunt simultaneously.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine that the stunt double got hurt doing it, so they said, "Well, let's let Tom give it a crack." So I have to imagine that Tom went first and got hurt, and they were like, "Well, I mean, it's just a stunt double. Let him try it." And then he got hurt too, and they're like, "All right, this is dangerous. We're gonna stop for a week. We'll come back."
And we'll try it again.
Y'all walk it off. We're going to try it again. It's too good not to have in the film.
Yeah.
Please don't make us CG this scene. No, it in all seriousness, you know, thoughts and prayers to both of them. Hope they're okay. Everything seems like it's on track to get back going in a week. I'm assuming it was minor, but serious enough to stop everything for a minute. So hope they're okay.
I was going to say if it was actually like a serious injury, I would feel really bad about how much we've been joking about it. But I was joking because it sounded like it was like, all right, everything's, you know, they had an incident, everything was good.
Yeah, I can't imagine if it was overly serious that they'd be coming back in a week.
Yeah.
Nor do I think they would have released it publicly that quickly. They were pretty quick to be like, hey, we're shutting down production for a little bit.
Yeah.
And the fact that they even said it was like concussion protocol stuff was like, okay, they're giving us all this information. It's probably not that big a deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, so hopefully they're okay. They're on the mend. They'll be back and back in action here soon. On that note, have we talked about some of the details coming out about this little production, this little shindig?
Not really.
Dude.
I'll tell you what I know. Apparently he spoiled the villain, but I don't know what he did. Did you hear that?
I've heard that, and then I've also... So, okay. We'll get to that in a second. Go on with the rest of what you've heard.
And that's it.
Okay, so let's touch on that villain thing.
I actually
Y'all
don't
remember that? It was from a few seconds ago.
I actually can't remember the other things that I've heard, so let's do the villain thing.
So here's the thing. I heard it going all over Twitter that he spoiled who the main villain is and have not seen a single thing about who the main villain is.
Yeah.
At the same time, I saw a new announcement going around, but it was an official announcement about a casting for the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, how did he spoil it if y'all are announcing the casting?
Who's the cast? I forget who it was. I saw it too.
I want to give name credit here. I have it saved.
While you're looking that up, I do know that they have confirmed who the villains are not. Like, it's not Mr. Negative. And I've also heard that it will
I don't
be.
buy that.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'll tell you why in a minute.
Way to make me feel stupid, Chris. But, no, I'm just kidding. And I've also heard that it will be a villain that we haven't seen yet in the Spider-Man cinematic universe, any of the universes.
Yeah.
Like, it's a whole brand new thing, which means Hulk is probably not the villain.
Yeah, I never thought he would be the villain. I do think he'll be a little bit of an antagonist.
Yeah.
But I don't know that he'll be like, I don't think he'll be the villain. But I've heard reports still coming out that, like, the most recent things about Hulk have been saying in this movie, he's going to be like the scariest we've seen him in a while.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, then he's definitely at least an antagonist. He's not like, one of the good guys.
Yeah.
And the new casting is Marvin Jones III.
Okay.
Has been officially announced.
Can I see his picture?
Yeah, as the casting of Tombstone. So real quick, that's Tombstone.
Okay.
And that's the actor playing him.
Oh.
Now, I immediately, when I saw his picture, was like, I'm on board. If they do the gray and, the makeup and everything, I think he's going to look perfect. My one thing, I was like, the voice. Like, Tombstone has got to have a good, deep, aggressive voice. There's been some really good examples of it, and I really, really love when people can get the voices right on these guys. And then I found out he's a voice actor also, or has done voice acting. You know who he has voice acted, at least in one role?
Scooby-Doo.
Tombstone.
Oh, wow.
In Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Dude, okay, hold on. That could be another, like, multiversal type thing,
Who knows? Who knows? It could be.
It could be a hint.
But I was like, okay, yep. I love his voice in that, so I'm cool with that. I'm absolutely okay with that.
I haven't seen Into the Spider-Verse, and I don't know anything about Tuesday.
You've seen Into the Spider-Verse. You haven't seen
Across
the Spider-Verse.
Tombstone was in that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember
He's
that.
Kingpin's like right-hand man.
Oh, I have to go back and watch it because I don't even remember that. Interesting.
Yeah, he's in that. He's not like a big role in it or anything, but you do hear him speak.
Is Tombstone a part of like Kingpin's thing in the comics?
In some runs, I think yes, and sometimes he's just his own thing. Like in a lot of like in the Spider-Man game, the PlayStation Spider-Man game, he's like a mob leader, and he's got like his own henchmen and stuff, and he can give them this like stuff that turns them kind of into stone, like how he is, so that they don't get hurt easily or like can't be shot and stuff like that. He's really cool.
That's awesome.
Really, really cool. I'm really excited to see him pop up in these movies. So Tom Holland has also come out and said, in more news about this movie, has come out recently and said that in the years, plural, that he's kind of stepped away from all of this for now to focus, I guess, just on him and his personal life and relationships and stuff. He did make a bunch of like fake burner accounts and go on all kinds of social media, Spider-Man social media, to see what the fans were talking about and like what they wanted out of the next step in this franchise. And he said that he has gone out of his way to try and make sure that throughout these next 3 movies, because I'm pretty sure I don't know if he's straight up said as much, but pretty much the implication here, these will be his last.
Yeah.
Which I don't blame him. I mean, he's been Spider-Man now for
coming up on 10 years.
Yeah. And by the time this movie comes out, 11. So he'll have been.
Well, his first. Oh, no, because Civil War.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Homecoming.
Oh, no. Yeah, well, that will have been 10 years.
Yeah.
Because that was 2016.
10 years. Yeah, it's 10 years next year. Yeah.
So when this movie comes out, he will have been Spider-Man for a decade.
Yeah.
And in countless movies. So I don't blame him. I'm glad that he's came back to give us this trilogy, and I'm glad that he's still so passionate about it that he wants to give the fans what they want. So,
unless he has a concussion.
Well,
I'm just
I think they said they wanted the suit to have polka dots on it. I don't remember.
No, I was making a joke that he took time off because of a concussion.
Yeah.
Is it really?
I was making a joke about him being so concussed that he forgets what the fans want and gives us a random movie that has nothing to do with what we wanted. Wow, I almost just I'm not gonna say that one. That one I thought better of. I'm not gonna dig up some other stuff, but regardless, point being, he is really trying to bring forth the best trilogy of Spider-Man that has ever been done, and I really think so far from everything I've heard, they're on the right track to do it. The characters that I've heard they're bringing in, the way they're tackling the story, the way the suit looks, the few like set leaks and stuff we got early on, like pictures and stuff of the practical swinging. Never would have thought that in 2026 we'll be getting a Spider-Man movie with practical swinging in it.
Yeah.
I thought we were done with that. Cannot wait.
Also, did you hear that Tobey Maguire was spotted in London?
Yep.
Where they're filming it?
Where they're filming Doomsday.
Oh, I thought it was where they were filming Spider-Man.
Well, they're filming it all over there.
And Doomsday is also wrapped on filming now.
They wrapped their whatever they call the first stage of filming, so they're gonna take everything they got and start doing some post, and then obviously, in classic Marvel fashion, reshoots will be happening probably in 4 or 5 months, 3 months, something like that.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Now, moving on to that, because I'm pretty much, I think that's pretty much all the news on the Spider-Man stuff. I think we've already talked about how Jackie Chan's stunt company is doing the stunt work for it in the last episode, which is cool.
Oh yeah.
But Doomsday. The most notable news I could tell you about Doomsday is that there's no news about Doomsday.
That is true.
Which is crazy. I mean, crazy. Not one set leak. Not one.
Yeah.
I can't think of the last Marvel movie that didn't have a set leak.
It makes me feel like all the set leaks we do get are intentional.
It kind of does. Because the Russo brothers have come out now and said that as much as they've shown, because, we got the whole casting chair lineup thing, and supposedly there's still rumors we're going to get another one. It was supposed to happen in August, and it didn't. It was supposed to happen earlier this month, and it didn't. But the buzz is still that we're going to get another set of those. They've come out and said that no matter what they show, they're not showing everything. Like there will be plenty of cameos and appearances and meetups and team ups and everything else that you will not hear about. You'll just see it in the movie. And I was like, dang. What's his name? Is it Alan Cummings who plays Nightcrawler? I want to say.
I think it's Alan Cummings, yeah.
He was interviewed, and he said that for a lot of the beginning of filming, like they didn't have a script until near the end. They were not handing out scripts.
Wow.
They were just telling them, like, kind of, I guess, hey, you come, we're shooting this scene, and then kind of like telling them the scene, maybe giving them like the gist of their lines, or maybe handing out like a little temp, like a portion of a script or something that they
Yeah.
had to get back. But as far as like a big script that everyone just got to be working on, no, they didn't even hand out full scripts or anything,
Wow.
which is, again, nuts.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, man. That, as big as this movie is going to be, not only in scale, just like cast and what it's tackling, but also as far as like money that it's gonna. I don't know how it's box office. That's the word I was looking for. Like the profit it's gonna bring in. No set leaks through the whole first stage of shooting is crazy.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think. I feel like we got some for Doctor Strange.
You mean the second one or
The
the first
second one, yeah. I'm trying to think if there were. When's the last time we didn't get any? Because I know we got a few for even in-game, I think, had a few. Because I remember there being pictures on the set, on the street, where they're filming the scene where Tony, Cap, and Ant-Man and whoever went back in time to like the 2012 Avengers. There was a shot of Tony standing in the street, not in the movie, but I'm saying like a leaked thing of him standing on the street in his quantum suit that they time traveled in, the white and red ones, and he's holding like a briefcase that says BARF on it, but it's like an acronym, and everyone was trying to figure out like what that was. Like, is it part of the movie or is it just something like that the set has for some reason? And yeah, it's. I can't think. I mean, even No Way Home
Yeah.
had leaks.
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot for the life of me think of this. Is crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm
It really makes you.
it makes me wonder
It's
how much
powerful.
is true. It
Yeah.
does. Like it's the power of silence.
Yeah.
And it makes me so excited because I can't remember the last time I've been able to go into a Marvel movie, especially a huge one like this, completely blind.
Yeah.
Like, not even an inkling of an idea of what's about to happen. And I'm both nervous about it and excited about it because, like, you know, they could screw it up. I hate to say that out loud,
Right.
but they could. But, like, also, hopefully, track record speaking for itself, they won't. The only movie that they've done that I've had really the most complaints with, most people loved, and I would say it was still a good movie. I mean, Endgame was still a good movie. I just had gripes about it.
Do you think that so when you were saying that Tom Holland got on social media to see what the fans were saying, part of me was like, man, I wish I had known that, because I would have been more. I don't really post ever on social media. I just kind of look on Twitter just to see what's up. I don't even look that much. But if I knew that he was doing that, I might have tried to start stirring up people to be like, because I don't know why I want this so badly. I'm not even that big of a Hulk fan, but I want a Hulk versus King Thanos in this movie. Like, I want Hulk to have a redeeming from Infinity War. Like, I think a lot of people secretly wanted that. They're just not as vocal about it because they don't think they're going to get it anyway. Like, that's my prediction. But it didn't have to be a huge scene. It could just be like, you know, in Battle World, Thanos and Hulk get put together, and Hulk's like, not this time, buddy, and he wins. He didn't even have to like wreck him or destroy him. He just wins, and it's like, yeah, redemption, and then we move on with our lives.
Yeah. I mean, I think at this point, literally anything is possible.
Yeah, but that feels the least possible.
I don't know about the least. I've heard some crazy theories. Like,
okay, well, barring crazy theories, as far as what is in the realm of possibility, you know,
You feel like
no
that?
outliers included. I feel like King Thanos is right there. I mean, Thanos versus Hulk is right there. Because I don't think people are really demanding that, you know?
I will say, what I think is more likely, if we see Thanos, this is where my thought.
Isn't King Thanos confirmed as a character?
I don't know about that.
Oh.
Anything you hear confirmed right now, that's kind of the thing that I'm saying with the no set leaks. Is like, nothing. No, we don't know. We're all completely blind.
Yeah.
All the leakers and everything like that. I'm not gonna say some of them don't have credible track records, but I'm not gonna like just put full faith in their word. Like I take everything that they say with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Marvel Updates has been like community noted like 70,000 times. My Time to Shine seems a little more, the stuff they put out seems a little more plausible, but I don't know. And then Daniel, whatever his name is, Daniel something, he's
Radcliffe.
yeah, that's it. No, I forget his like handle. It's Daniel something like Rickman or
Daniel Rickenman is the mayor of Columbia.
that's it.
I
He's
don't know
also
if you
an
were
MCU leaker.
I was gonna say I didn't know if you were confusing names. in
No,
your head.
it's I forget. Anyone who's remotely familiar with the leaker community will know who I'm talking about. But he's a big leaker on Twitter. I think he's mostly viewed as pretty reliable. But again, they're still human, man. And I just don't know that they know anything about this one.
Yeah.
Usually, I give them the benefit of the doubt, and a lot of times they're right. But this one, I just don't know. My thought process is this. If we see Thanos in Doomsday, I don't know that we see him in Secret Wars. And if we do see him in Doomsday, so I say that because of this. If you see him in Secret Wars for the purpose of Hulk beating him, I think it cheapens the reason you would see him in Doomsday. And I think the reason you would see him in Doomsday is to show Doom owning him. Like to show how much of a threat Doom is.
Yeah.
And then
I think you're right.
If you do that and then turn around in the next movie and then Hulk beats him to get his get back, which granted, I know a lot of people want. I know you're saying you don't hear it a whole lot out. There are a lot of people who wanted that and probably still do. I'm one of them. But at this point, I mean, by the time that movie comes out, a decade since Endgame and Infinity War, I'm just like, well, at this point, if they do it at that point, it'll kind of just feel reachy to me. Like, oh, they had to make this happen because people wouldn't stop complaining about, I'd rather just see Hulk do some other crazy thing. I don't know how familiar you are with was it the 70s or 80s, the original Secret War comic event?
Oh, I thought it came out in the 50s. I mean, the 2015 era.
That was another one. That was the more recent one.
I thought Secret Wars just was a recent thing. I didn't realize it was out in the 50s. I knew that the Infinity War was that old.
I don't think it was the 50s. Let me do a quick Google.
Oh, sorry. You said 70s.
Well, I don't know when it was.
What I was getting in, I knew Infinity War came out between 50s, 60s, somewhere around there, but I didn't realize Secret Wars was that old.
From 84 to 85. It was a 12-issue comic book crossover event.
So was Doom a part of that?
Yeah.
Wow. So I read Secret Wars in the bookstore, like just briefly, and I think the Secret Wars that I looked at on YouTube with that comics guy.
Yeah.
That was the 2015 one.
That was the new one. Yeah.
Okay.
And to be fair, a lot of what I think these movies are going to do is going to be more based off that one. Because like that one was the one that kind of coined the whole incursion term, and we've heard that thrown around in the MCU. That one dealt with more like multiversal stuff, and that's kind of what we're dealing with in the MCU. The 80s one was, I say grounded. It wasn't grounded, but it was more grounded than that. It was literally Battleworld was a planet. And the Beyonder came, and he basically had like groups of like villains and heroes, and he was like, "Hey, fight."
So it wasn't a multiverse battle world?
It wasn't multiverse.
Okay.
And
yeah, well then it has to be off the new one.
Right. But the reason I'm bringing it up, the original one, and the reason they made a new one in 2015 was because that original one was so popular. It was a huge event. It had all these characters in it, and it was crazy moments, like iconic moments happened in it. That is where Spider-Man gets his symbiote black suit originally.
Oh.
There is a famous
I did not know that.
Spider-Man cover. That image is famous.
Oh, yeah. I think I've seen it before.
That is him getting the symbiote suit in Secret Wars.
Interesting.
It's where he first came into contact with it. And there's another really, really famous Hulk feat that is always mentioned when talking about his like craziest feats of strength that happened in Secret Wars. And it's that at some point, somehow, he ends up holding up, like he's scrunched down like on his knees, and on his shoulders, he's holding up an entire mountain range over his team so that they're, first of all, not squished and killed by it, but second of all, they're protected for the time being from whatever is going on. I don't know how they ended up. I've never read that run. I really want to, but I've never been able to get to buy the individual issues. You'd probably have to be like a millionaire, and to get the collective one, I just haven't ever seen it in a comic store that I'm at. But yeah, I want to see that. If we're gonna do something crazy like redeem Hulk, I want to see him hold up a mountain range on his shoulders for one of our teams.
Maybe that could be how they hint, like, Thanos sees it or something. So there's like a hint of like, if I took you this time, it would be different, but without actually. Because you bring up
Something
a really,
like that maybe, yeah.
You bring up a really good point that I think the purpose of bringing Thanos back is to show what a threat Doom is.
Yeah.
And if you just have Hulk beat him, that undermines that. So now we're in a pickle.
Yeah. Yeah, I think what they're going to do, I think they're going to reenact the big scene that everyone's wanting where Doom rips Thanos' spine out and like eviscerates him. I think
that would be awesome.
I think they're going to do that, and then I don't think you're going to see Thanos again. If you do, I don't think he's going to fight Hulk straight up. I just don't see it.
Yeah. I don't either.
If they bring him back again, I think they do it more in the what if vein, where in the season 1 of What If they brought him back and he's like a good guy. I think that'd be an interesting dynamic to see like one of our teams of Avengers from a different universe fighting with Thanos.
Yeah.
Be very different, and then Hulk sees him and beats him, and then Hulk's a bad guy because he beat the good Thanos.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm just kidding.
I thought, stupid. Well, the direction I thought you were going to go is what if Hulk beat Thanos in that fight? Like, that would be interesting, right?
That would be a cool it'd be like funny. Yeah. That would be a funny like wink at the audience, like, we're not doing it.
Yeah.
Like, be like, oh, well, how did you get him to partner with him? Dude, our Hulk just beat the crap out of him, and he just realized he couldn't beat us, so he joined us. Yeah. Like, all right. And then like cut the camera to our Hulk, and he's like, like just like mad and like stomps away. Hulk hates stairs.
Yeah.
I don't know why there's stairs on Battle World, but
I don't know why Battle World exists.
I thought you read the comic.
I did. I'm just being.
I was gonna say, Doom did it.
Yeah, I know he did.
I want to know why he's doing it in the MCU.
Well, from what I've gathered, is a lot of it is revenge, because so the things that I've heard that when Steve Rogers went back in time in Endgame and decided to stay with Peggy, he caused an incursion that killed Doom's family. And so the opening scene, the stuff that I've heard is quote unquote confirmed, is that Loki, Steve Rogers, and Doom have all filmed scenes in that house where Peggy is. So supposedly it starts off with him visiting Steve and being like, you killed my family, and he's going to bring him to Battleworld. And from what I've gathered is this leads him down a path of seeing like the multiverse needs to be dealt with. So I don't know. Maybe it's going to be, he's going to have him battle it out to see which heroes deserve to be the hero in their world or something. I don't know. But the roots are there. Like,
yeah.
For his motivations.
I'm going to tell you, that's going to be so cool. Oh my gosh. I can't wait. I'm telling you, Doom is the thing I'm most looking forward to in these movies, as long as they don't ruin him.
Yeah. I really, really, really hope that it's true that Iron Man was a Doom variant.
I'm the more I've sat with that, the more I'm on board with it. I'm like, that would just be a really cool twist. And to me, it kind of lessens the sting of the fact that this whole thing is a reboot for the MCU. So at some point, you're going to get a new Iron Man. What's the one thing we've seen with like certain characters? It's like, it's really hard to recast them. You know, Hugh Jackman is still Wolverine. Yeah. Since 1999, this man has been playing this character. He's tried to get away from it. They've killed him off. I mean, they've done everything. He's still playing him. And the reason is because it's hard to recast that. He's kind of perfect for that role. I mean, you know, people have their gripes about his height and whatever. Okay, whatever. I mean, you know, everyone's going to have their gripes about stuff. But he really is Wolverine at this point. And I think if you can sell the idea that the Iron Man, that everyone was like, this is one of the most iconic castings, perfect castings of all time. If he does Doom well enough and they tell the story well enough to resonate with audiences and convince them that he was supposed to be Doom the whole time, he was never meant to be Iron Man, I think that will help lessen the pain of when you inevitably get your new Iron Man in a handful of years. I think it'll make it easier to recast him. So
I agree.
I think that I really, really am on board with that theory, rumor, or whatever you want to call it, that's how they're going to tackle him looking like Tony Stark.
Do you think it's a lie?
Yes.
Okay. Let's move on. Do you think it's a lie that what Kevin Feige said, that they've been told to stay away from Miles Morales?
I haven't heard that.
Yeah, you have. We've talked about it before because you were like, I knew you were going to be excited about that, Daniel. But Kevin Feige came out and said that Sony told them that Disney cannot touch Miles Morales. They've been told to fingers off.
I wonder if that... I just saw a report coming out like in the last couple of days, around the same time as the casting got announced for Tombstone. There was a report coming out that Marvel had to give up something to Sony in order to keep the Spider-Man trilogy a grounded, like, street-level version of a trilogy instead of a bigger crossover thing, because they wanted to keep doing... Sony wanted to keep doing the big, like, multiverse crossover stuff. And Marvel and probably Tom Holland were pushing to keep it street level because that's what a lot of fans wanted. They wanted to see a more grounded, like, more like the Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire takes of the character version of the story, that he in his movies is more dealing with that kind of stuff, but he still crosses over in the Avengers stuff to bigger threats. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe because from what I've heard, Marvel was gearing up to at some point bring Miles in.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what they had to give up to have the trilogy go the way they want to narratively. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Be very interesting. I wonder.
You shouldn't do that.
Shouldn't do what?
Wonder.
Yeah, probably not. No, I seriously, you know, I'm wondering like why they felt like that was the right move. I mean, I guess all in all, it is because Sony owns the character. So at the end of the day, if they can get what they want now from the one they've got, maybe they're willing to close the door on picking up the other. It doesn't matter. Sony's gonna ruin Miles Morales just like they've ruined all the other Spider-Man IP that they've done single-handedly and not had Marvel's hand in. So whatever, they can keep him if they want. Whatever they put out's not going to be good.
Because it's Miles Morales.
No, not because I know you're not a big fan. I like Miles.
No, well, the way that they did him in the animated movies, I actually like that. I liked him in those movies. I just didn't like him in general as a character when he was introduced.
Fair.
Because you know, we've had this discussion before. Like, one of my favorite things in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Andrew Garfield was that the DNA of his dad was in the spiders, and that's why it
Right.
worked for him, but it turned everyone else crazy. Because that makes logical sense to me. But if anyone can just get bit by a spider and become Spider-Man, I understand, because I remember you told me that one of the things that Stan Lee believed about the character is anyone could be in that suit. I think that's still true, even if you go the Andrew Garfield route, because it's just in that universe, in that story, he's the one destined. But in your world, you could be Spider-Man. You know, that's kind of how I look at it. Anyone could have been Andrew Garfield, but it just so happened that his dad's DNA was the... So, anyway, that to say, what I hated about the whole Miles Morales thing is they just like killed off Spider-Man. I was like, we'll just give a new one. And I'm like, what? No.
I was going to say, to be fair, I reminded you that did happen in that movie. And then you were like, oh, yeah, then I still don't like it.
What happened in what movie?
That they did kill off his universe's Peter Parker for him to be Spider-Man.
Yes, but you then told me something else that made me feel like, oh, I'm okay with that, because the spider that bit Miles was intended for a Miles in a different universe.
Right.
So it was still intended for him. So it's not just anyone can become Spider-Man. Miles actually was meant to be Spider-Man, just not in that universe. So,
Fair.
and because they were playing with the multiverse, everything got
It's so funny to me that it's so funny to me that the movie that did the thing that you don't like was the one you watched, and then the one that gave it all this like background and lore that would have actually made you be like, oh, I really like that decision, was the one you're like, I draw the line. I'm not watching that one. You would love the second one, because that's the one that gives you all that. You don't know that in the first one.
I never said I wasn't going to watch the second one. I just haven't gotten around to it.
I thought you told me you have no interest in watching the second.
Oh, well, okay. I never really have had much interest in it. It's I just like, I don't know. I'm just not drawn to it.
Okay.
But I'm not like against watching it. Like,
You just hate it.
yeah,
Okay.
it just makes me want to rip my teeth out.
Gotcha.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, if you ever get the chance to sit down and watch it, I think you will really, really like it. Because
You're
of
probably
that.
right.
Because
Yeah.
of that. Like now that I know that about how you perceive all that stuff, you will love you'll like the second one more than the first one.
Okay, then.
Or else.
Or else.
Or else you won't. I don't know.
Okay. I thought you were threatening me.
About a Spider-Man movie.
You take Spider-Man very
I do,
seriously.
actually. I really do. That's my guy. Kind of Spider-Man related, but also moving on. Did you get a chance to watch Marvel Zombies?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Oh my
Was it
gosh.
good?
I watched all 4 episodes. They're all amazing.
Wow.
Well, hang on. Let me.
Is this in the what if?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
So in season 1, I think of What If, they did a Marvel Zombies episode, and this is supposed to kind of be like an event that kind of picks up during / where that left off, and making it just like bigger. It's all the same thing. It's not like it happened twice, is what I'm saying. You know how I've told you on here before, I don't like.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you some reason you're just so nice, you keep having me back. No, you know how I've told you I don't really like depressing stories.
Yeah.
Like we talked about like the Patriot and stuff, and I was like, it was good. I can acknowledge it's good, but I can't like it because it's depressing. It makes me sad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I almost feel that way about this. Like, it's really good. And the animation is surprisingly good, because I don't like that style of animation in the What If show that much, personally. But the way they do the action in this is, oh my gosh, man. It is so I wish you had seen it, because I wanted so badly to talk about it. But I didn't realize it had dropped until yesterday, and I meant to text you. I was like, can you please try and binge this? But I was watching my son. It was a whole thing anyway. But oh man, dude, it's so good. But the way, first of all, each episode like almost ends on like a bummer. Like it ends on like a bummer cliffhanger.
Even the last episode?
Well, and that's what I was going to say. The first 3, it's like bummer, bummer, bummer. Like every time you think something might be going the right way, it's like, you know, it's not going to. And there are deaths, my man. Like For real. Like,
Do they become zombies?
yes.
Oh.
Yes. I think every single one that I saw died did. It's crazy. Like, in all seriousness, my jaw dropped the first one I saw. Because not only did I not expect it, but it was brutal. I was like, what's going on? Like, this, I know it's TVMA. I know it's not like going to be your typical Marvel thing, but I'm not used to it with these characters. And it was crazy. I was like, what? And every episode there were deaths. I'm like, stop. Stop making me like you and then killing them. Stop. So then the last episode, stuff happened. I'm trying to be vague, but stuff happens and it ends and you're like, okay, like I can get behind that. It's how do I say this without giving it away? It's a little bit of like a cliche way to end something that seems like it's completely doomed, but then you end it on a good note. That's all I'll say on that. Unless you don't care. If you don't care, I'm just going to talk to you about it. But if you care, I'm going to beat around.
Well, you're
the bush.
making me a little interested now, so I think I do care. I might.
Okay,
I
I'm going to hold off then. It's a little bit of a cliche way to do that, but then it's like the way they spin it, they kind of leave some stuff open to your interpretation. Again, going to leave that there. And I was like, bummer. You ended it on a bummer. What is wrong with you? Why? I want to talk to you so much more in detail about it.
How does that make you feel, Chris?
Honestly, it made me really excited because I was like, this is probably one of the like boldest moves Marvel has done in a while. And I'm really glad they did it this way. Like, this was really cool. But like, again, it's so hard for me to just ignore the possible sadness of the ending.
Yeah.
I want to tell you what I mean by that because I know I sound like a crazy person, but
well, I knew you were crazy when I first met you. So
I was trying to hide it a little better. No, dude, it's so good. If you watch it, please tell me so I can talk to you about it.
Have you finished Born Again yet?
No, you kind of got me to where I'm not even excited about it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
like I'm going to because I mean season 2, and I've heard season 2 is supposed to be really really good.
Well, I've said this before too. If they do season 2 right, it might make the first season worth it.
That's true. So let me tell you this: did you know that season 1 had multiple teams of writers, and
that makes so much sense.
And that one team came in and did all the stuff where they like killed Foggy and all that in the beginning. And then pretty much everyone was like hating it. So they brought in another team, but they had to leave the Foggy death because it kind of, if you change that, you'd have to change so much more, I guess, throughout the story. And it would have set them back like a lot, and they had already started. But they were going to kill off Karen too. But the other team changed it to where she just moves away because you could just kind of remove her from the story in that way and it'd be fine. And so I think they're planning on like this team actually, I think, worked more on the Netflix one. So they're trying to get it back to that feel.
Okay.
But the reason that this first season supposedly had so much like non-meshing material is because it was written by 2 different teams, and the second team kind of had to leave some things from the first team's stuff in their version.
That makes so much sense. So much. Because I could not tell throughout that whole first season if they were trying to do a one cohesive story throughout the season, or if they were trying to do the type of show where each episode is its own thing and it's just, the legacy of Daredevil and how it felt jumbled. And there were some really cool parts. Like, did you get to the bank episode? The bank robbery episode? Okay. That was probably my favorite episode.
I think I've only seen 3.
Okay. That was probably my favorite episode, especially because the ending fight was amazing. And it had all these little nuggets of, like, really cool stuff, but I'm like, I'm not following this. I don't know. There was a lot. That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
That helps me understand it so much better.
I think season 2. So in more like leaning towards probably positive coming in the future. Season 2 just got done shooting, I think, or they're just starting, or something about their shoot. I think they just finished. I think I could be wrong, but they've already greenlit season 3.
Yeah, I heard that too.
And season 2 is not even close to being out yet. So
yeah, we'll see what happens.
That's good news.
Is that coming out before the movies, Brand New Day and Doomsday?
I want to say yes.
Okay.
I'm going to assume Daredevil's probably coming out first quarter 2026.
Yeah.
And I think Brand New Day is summer, and then Doomsday is, of course, in the winter. But I heard Beyond the Spider-Verse got moved up a week. So that's good news.
It is good news.
I
don't know why I whispered that.
Because it's so serious. I'm trying to think, was there something else about that? Anyway, I think on that, let's go ahead and take our break. We're at about an hour.
Aww.
Well, and what was there something else you wanted to say on the?
I just don't want to stop talking.
Oh, you can talk during our break. I don't care. We don't have to have quiet time. Yeah, we're gonna take our quick mid-show break, and we'll be right back.
So,
we're back.
Who are we talking about? From Chicken Little.
Oh my gosh, I'm not allowed to watch that movie.
Still? Chris, you're a grown man.
I was allowed to watch it as a kid when I wasn't married. My wife does not like it. I've tried to put it on like multiple times.
Why does she not like it?
It's just she gets annoyed by it. She thinks it's a stupid movie.
That's why it's so great.
I know.
I love that movie.
That's why I kind of try and put it on all the time to annoy her. And then she's like, "Turn that movie off." I'm like, "All right." I didn't really want to watch it anyway. I just wanted to make you mad. That and Sky High.
Oh, dude, I loved that movie in high school. It's so dumb. That's
when I
why
was
it's
in
so
school, I liked it. I tried to watch it as an adult, and I can't.
I mean, it's really bad.
It's so bad.
But that's why it's funny. It's some of it is genuinely just really funny too. Like
some of it.
Whenever the dad is like finding out that he made his son a sidekick, and he's like trying to make a sandwich. He's like, "I'm gonna call the school," and he breaks the phone. He opens, there's like 20 phones in a drawer. He's like, "Dang it!"
Yeah, that's a funny gag. I've always, like, even as a kid, I don't even know if I fully understood it as a kid, but even as a kid, I always liked the line of, "Are you the kid with the 6 arms?" And he's like, no, sir, just 2. He goes, "Well, keep them to yourself."
Yeah,
because he's going to the girl's dad or whatever.
Yeah.
I always thought that was a pretty clever line.
How about the fact that the antagonist, or the nemesis who becomes good, is named War and Peace?
Yeah.
That's great.
A little on the nose.
That's gold.
I always thought it was the coolest scene in the world when he gets his powers.
Oh, yeah.
When they're in the cafeteria fight and he lifts the table up. Doesn't even really do anything. He just like lifts it up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, that means he won because he lifted the table.
Yeah.
And as a kid, I was like, yeah. I think I was more excited than his dad that he had super strength. I was like, yes. Did he ever fly?
Yeah.
He ends up having both?
Yeah, because that happens at the very end because someone kicks him off the high school.
That's
and then he's
right.
flying. He's like, I can fly too.
Yeah. Dude, that guy was a total dweeb, but he plays in another movie that like nobody knows.
The Forbidden Kingdom? Dude, I have the same experience.
Vindication.
I've had this same talk with people. I'm like, how have you not seen this movie?
Oh my God.
I love that actor
I
too.
can cry right now. Dude, that movie is so good.
It's a very good movie.
I watched it. God, when was the last time I watched it? It's been a few years ago, but it still holds up to me.
Yeah.
Like it's a cheesy kung fu movie, but like that's the whole point.
Well, it's so weird because it feels like it shouldn't work, but it does. You're like, this is enjoyable. I don't know
Yes!
how, but I love it.
Dude, when you said it, I was like,
I know.
am I being punked? Is this a
Did we just
dream?
become best friends?
Dude.
Dude, the scene in the end where he kicks the gun away, like that whole scene was like amazing to
Yeah,
me.
when he comes back to or what in the alley or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I also love how they never explain the connection between his world and the world he goes to. Because, like,
You
the
just
same
accept
people
that,
are there.
Oh, that must have happened, and now he's just
Yeah.
knows kung fu.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah. It's cool.
That movie was made at a time when the internet wasn't what the internet is, and so they could just make a movie, and it was just creative, and you just had to accept certain things.
Yeah.
If that movie was made today, it would get panned
Yeah.
by Rotten Tomato and YouTubers and everything else. That movie is a good movie.
It is a good
I
movie.
stand by it. It had a good score, great action. Dude, Jet Li and Jackie Chan.
I know.
Come on.
I remember the previews for it. That was how they sold it. It was like Jet Li and Jackie Chan teaming up. I'm like, that's fun.
Yeah.
And the action was awesome.
It was so good.
It was so cool.
It was such a good mix of like the classic kung fu stuff, but with some modern stuff because Jet Li and Jackie Chan kind of pushed that whole genre of like movie fighting beyond what it ever was. And so like they had their mix of their stuff in there, but were paying homage to the old kung fu stuff with like the spinning around while kicking and like floating through the air. But like, oh dude, man, it was so good.
Yeah.
So good. And managed to also have a pretty good lesson to it. Like it was a good lesson.
Yeah.
And the Monkey King dude, oh my gosh, man, it's so
He was the character that made me feel like, why do I like this movie?
yeah.
But it was good. It fit. I don't get it, you know.
Now I'm gonna go rewatch that.
Yeah.
I'm going now that we've talked about it. I'm gonna go rewatch that.
That guy has been in a lot of movies like that where they never got any traction, but they were good movies. I think his
I don't
name
know of
is
any other ones.
Michael Arengano or something. There's a movie, an indie movie called The Brass Teapot with him and a girl named Juno Temple, who's in a lot of indie movies. That's a really good movie. It's kind of quirky, and it's got some not so great stuff in it, but overall, it's a really good movie and it's got a great message. She ends up they're kind of poor, and they find this teapot where if you get hurt, it gives you money. So if you like pinch your arm, money pops up in the teapot, and then they start learning you have to do. I don't want to spoil it, but it's a really good premise for a movie, and it's a great movie, and he's a great actor in it.
He is pretty good.
He's been in tons of movies.
I was
like
gonna
that.
say in a movie with Jackie Chan and Jet Li, he managed to not look bad fighting. Like he looked pretty good in his, which I'm sure he had a stunt person too, but like in the ones where you could tell it's him, he did pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might have to check Brass Teapot out. That sounds pretty good.
It's a fun movie. I think you'd like it, and it's got a really good message to it.
Okay. Have you ever seen Chronicle?
Oh yeah.
See, I was thinking about this the other day. When Chronicle came out, it was such a big deal.
Yeah.
And I went and bought it. And I have never watched it.
You've never seen it?
Nope.
Wow.
I know. I was thinking about it the other day. I don't remember what made me think about it. I was like, Chronicle. Oh, yeah, Chronicle. I was like, I own that movie. And I've never seen it.
You should watch it.
I need to.
It's a lot of fun.
I just didn't know if you'd seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it. I saw it like many times.
You like it a lot?
I do. I don't like how I don't fully like how they portrayed the villain, but that's more of a gripe. It's a really good movie.
Isn't the villain just one of the three kids?
Well, I don't want to spoil anything.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
If you watch
Cool,
it.
cool,
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Hot.
Hot.
Yeah, well, I'll have to watch that.
Lukewarm.
I have to watch that. We'll talk about it at some point.
No, we won't.
Okay, absolutely.
Are we moving on?
Yes, let's talk about Mission Impossible.
That's not the theme at all.
I don't know. I just was doing something that sounded spy-ish.
Dun, 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 dun,
Okay, well, I can't do that.
Dun, 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 doo. Okay. I love that theme. In the second Mission Impossible movie, Metallica did the theme song, and that was like a big deal because they were huge at that time. Everyone's like,
know that.
Metallica did the theme song. So it was like distortion guitars.
I feel like I remember that. I don't remember. I didn't know Metallica did it. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. So for those of you who may not know, I'm going to intro this topic here. My esteemed co-host here, one of my best friends in the whole world,
Aw.
loves the Mission Impossible franchise.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't know, a few years, but I don't remember how long. It's been a while. Some years ago, he reached out to me. The new one was in theaters. He wanted to go see it. He was like, hey, do you want to go with me? I was like, I've never seen any of these, but sure. If you think I could watch it and enjoy it without knowing anything about this franchise at all. He's like, if you have any questions, just ask me. But I think you'll be fine. I said, okay. And I went, and we went to the big Sandhill IMAX theater, and it was one of the craziest movie experiences I've ever had. Not many movies like truly, like, you always hear stuff about like being on the edge of your seat or like feeling like you got to catch your breath between. I've never had that experience except with that movie. Like, that movie really made me feel like I had to catch my breath between set pieces. Like, that movie did not slow down. It was really, really good. Really, really fun. And it made me go back and start like, I got to binge these other ones. I gotta see all these.
You still haven't seen the fourth one.
Still haven't seen quite a few of them. But all that to say, he loves them, and it was announced a handful of years ago that Dead Reckoning was going to become a two-parter, right?
Yeah.
And were they different names, or is it Dead Reckoning 1 and Dead Reckoning 2?
Well, it started out, it was released as Dead Reckoning Part 1, but then when they came out with the second movie, they changed it. So the first one is Dead Reckoning, and the second one is The Final Reckoning.
Ah, okay.
But it's a two-part finale.
Right. So that's where we're at. So he has seen the first part.
I've seen it all now.
Well, I'm saying you saw the first part like when it came out.
Oh, yeah.
And when the second one came out was actually this year,
Mm-hmm.
and it was one of the ones that we had slated for us to go see because
In theaters.
In theaters. I think you guys have heard us talk. We've got weird schedules. It's hard for us to connect, and then movies are expensive, and money is a thing. So, you know, we had a few that we were like, we got to see this one. We got to see this one, and that was one of the ones. And then just through poor circumstances, sadly, it got pushed, and he was just like, well, I'll just check it out at home when it gets released on digital. So he texted me yesterday or a couple days ago, and he said, by the way, I finally watched the final, or as of right now, the final, because Tom Cruise refuses to call it the final one, Mission Impossible movie. And I'm about to get his raw, unfiltered thoughts.
It was great.
Okay.
Next topic.
Well, man, that was supposed to carry us through the last hour.
Yeah. Well, which movies have you seen in the franchise?
So I've seen the first one. I've seen the second one. I've seen the best one, which is the third one.
No, that's not the best one.
It's the best one. Isn't that the one you hate?
No,
No, you hate the second one.
I don't hate it. It's just the worst in the franchise.
The second one?
Yeah, I like it for what
Sorry,
it is.
I meant the best one. I've seen the best one, the second one. The third one, which was okay. No, I'm just kidding. I've seen the first three, because the third one's the one that opens up with him being tied to the chair and the dude counting or whatever.
Yeah.
I've seen that one. And I know I've seen the first and second one if I've seen the third one. Fourth was Ghost Protocol.
Yeah.
Have not seen that. Fifth was the one we saw.
No, we saw 6. Fifth was Rogue Nation.
Okay. Haven't seen 5.
Yeah.
Saw 6, and then haven't seen 7 or 8.
Okay, so you've only seen 3 of them.
Yeah.
No,
No,
4
4
of them. 4 of them.
I've seen
yeah.
half the franchise.
That's right. That's right.
And let's be real. If you've seen one, you've seen them all.
That's not totally true.
I'm joking.
That was honestly one of the things that I loved about this franchise is they kept finding ways to surprise you.
Yeah.
And like, I'm like, how have we not seen this already? You know? And that was one of the things that the finale
did not
do great. So let me just give you my initial. It was good. It was a really good Mission Impossible movie. It's not like it was bad or it was terrible, but it was a little bit of a letdown because because they had found ways as they kept making these movies to like raise the bar and like subvert your expectations and and all this stuff. And I think that they finally, after Dead Reckoning 1, had just done everything you could possibly do. And I think part of this comes from the fact that I don't know if I've ever seen a series do this 2-part finale thing where they split the last story up into 2 separate movies where it works out great. I've seen it work out okay. Like, it worked out okay in the Hunger Games. It worked out okay in this scenario. But I always feel like it's part of a story.
I think a lot of people would argue that it worked out great for Avengers. I disagree.
That's not the same thing at all, though.
Those were.
You mean Infinity War and Endgame?
Infinity War and Endgame, just like that, like you were just talking about. Reckoning was originally Infinity War Part 1 and 2, but they decided to rename them to Infinity War and Endgame because they felt like it needed the title change because they had the time jump. But it was always intended to be one story.
Well,
it's technically a 2-part finale.
But it doesn't feel like a 2. Like, I'm glad they changed the names because that doesn't give it that same feel, and it doesn't feel forced. Like, it felt like 2 full complete stories to me. Yeah, because when Infinity War ends, Thanos wins. You're like, what's gonna happen now? I mean, you obviously know they're not gonna keep all those characters dead, but
right, that's what I'm saying. Like that right there is what should tell you that's not the end of the story.
Sure, it's not the end of the whole story, but it's the end of that movie.
It's the end of a chapter.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't even go that far. It felt like a complete full story. It felt like a full movie in a series.
I guess if you're looking at it from that perspective of Thanos winning, like he's the protagonist, then I agree with you. But since I don't view it that way, no matter how hard the Russo brothers try and cram that down my throat, I don't view it that way.
I felt that way when I first saw it. It was a story about Thanos.
You can't give me a decade's worth of movies and content on the Avengers and these heroes, and then in the last movie tell me, well, Thanos is the protagonist, so technically this was his story.
You can, because the MCU has already set the precedent by doing all of these connected universes where everyone is their own protagonist in their own story, and this one was Thanos's.
But it's not the Thanos movie, it's the Avengers movie.
Sure, it's Avengers Infinity War, but this Avengers movie is about Thanos. He's the protagonist in it.
I see what you're saying.
And then Endgame solves that dilemma for you because that is about the actual initial Avengers.
It actually caused a lot more problems.
Okay.
But we're off Marvel for now.
Yeah. Okay.
To your point, it usually does not work out great.
Yeah.
The splitting the finale gimmick.
Yeah. And it didn't feel like a split in Infinity War and Endgame. It felt like 2 full, complete movies that were part of a series. Like in Hunger Games, did you ever see that movie series?
Oh, well, I've seen like 1 or 2 of them.
Okay.
I've seen Harry Potter, and that did it.
Yeah, that did it too. I don't know how I never watched this finale, so I don't know how it played out there.
It didn't work out great.
Yeah.
Twilight did it.
Twilight did it, which that whole franchise sucks, but
actually kind of like a couple.
Oh my gosh, Chris, no!
The last movie was pretty good. Look, I didn't go see them of my own accord. I was in high school and had a girlfriend. If you were in that,
we know that's a lie.
Well, no, okay. I was in high school and was bored and lonely, had no friends. Okay,
there we go.
No,
I'm just kidding.
If you were in high school and had a girlfriend in that era, you were at those movies. I'm sorry, you were. I mean, it just.
I was in high school and had a girlfriend, and she read the books and tried to get me to read it.
See, I didn't read them.
To be fair, I did try, to your point. So that kind of ruins my point. But I was going to say, I read like the first chapter and I was like, this is horrible. I don't like this at all.
Well, if I had ever seen the first movie, I've never seen the first one. If I had ever seen the first one, I don't know if I ever would have went to another one. But the first one I ever went to was the second one. And everyone who likes those movies will tell you that the first one is the worst one in the whole thing. And after that, they got pretty good. I saw the second one. I don't know if I saw the third one or the fourth one, but I saw the last one. And the last one was really cool for me because I was young at the time and had never seen them do a thing like they did where they just let a whole movie play out. And then at the end, after everyone that you know and love from these movies has died right in front of your eyes, they pull the curtain back like, just kidding, that didn't happen. But it could if you don't stop. And I was like, that was cool. So like literally the movie ends without the big battle. But you still got the big battle because she like showed it to him in a vision or whatever. Pretty neat. Pretty neat.
Sounds dumb.
All right.
I'm just kidding. Well, to be fair, the only one I saw was the first one. And I only saw it because I was homesick one day and we had Time Warner Cable and it was on there. And I was just like, I'll just see. It was huge.
I'm already miserable, whatever.
Yeah. It was huge at the time. And I thought, well, I didn't like the book, but dude, the second he started sparkling, I was like, this is the dumbest movie I have ever seen. Like, they set it up because the whole thing was he was like, oh, he's a vampire. What's going to happen? And it's like, ooh, spooky, mysterious. Is his flesh going to burn? Is he going to... And he sparkles like a Christmas tree. It's
really pretty.
I'll give you that. So, anyway, you had me in the first half. Not going to lie.
Not going to lie.
Anyway, the point is the whole 2-part thing, like in Hunger Games specifically, it felt like what usually happens is one of the two movies ends up feeling like part of a movie. And in Mission Impossible, the second one felt that way. It felt like part of a movie. There were some really cool scenes. They did some classic Mission Impossible stunts that were like, whoa, that's pretty cool. And you know that they filmed them all, himself because he does all of his own stunts. And it's the last like stunt scene is like intense. Like, I don't know how they filmed that. I don't know how he did that. It's crazy. So it was good, but it just didn't have the same kind of like you were talking about your experience with 6. Actually, the first in the finale felt way more intense. Like, wow, the world's gonna end. Like if they don't stop this thing. And the second one kind of felt just like, well,
this would be inconvenient if we don't stop it.
kind of. I mean, what's funny is the literal stakes were worse because the world was going to end, but it wasn't as tangible. Like you didn't feel it like you did in the first one. And there was less stress. Like in the first one, they did some just awesome stuff. Some things I liked. They played the original first movie theme song at the intro, and I was like, that's pretty cool. They brought back the old... You remember Kittredge from the first movie? He was the IMF guy who was like technically good, but he was going after Ethan.
Kinda.
Okay, well, they brought him back in the first part, and he was a crucial part in this one too. And they brought back some like callbacks. One thing that this franchise did strangely, though, is in episodes 2 and 3, they weren't written as like continuous episodes. A lot of characters had changed and a lot of things had changed, but there was no connection to the previous movies. So it kind of felt almost like James Bond. I mean, when you have the same actor, it's continuous with James Bond. But when you get a new actor, it's like it's just another. They were doing that like that with every movie.
Right.
And then all of a sudden in 4, in 4, just at the very, very end, they draw a callback to 3. And you're like, oh, okay, so these are continuous now. And then in 5 and 6, there were 2 really big drawbacks. And then so 7 and 8 were like pretty much saying this, he has been, these are continuous stories. I mean, that's just a little nitpick. They pulled it off okay, but it felt a little bit forced.
Oh, you didn't like that?
Not necessarily.
Oh.
Because the coolest thing about those movies was that there was no connection. It's just this Ethan Hunt character and all the stuff he goes through. But they did it in ways that were like, it's a nitpick. It felt a little forced, but whatever. But yeah, I think I pretty much said everything now. I mean, it was good, but they hyped it up. Like they did such a good job. It's like I've told you a million times. Movie 4 just took the whole franchise to a new level. That when I saw that in the movies, my jaw was on the floor. Like with the stuff that I was seeing, it was so good. And then from that point on, they were just great movies.
I really hate that I miss seeing some of these in theaters.
I hate that too. So anyway,
okay.
Yeah.
So what, 8, 7? 8
8.
of them. All 8 of them are out.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to rank them, how would you rank them?
Ooh. It depends on what mood I'm in.
The mood that you're in right now.
All right. Let's see.
Let's go from worst, like least favorite to favorite.
Okay. 2 is probably still my least favorite. 8 is probably my second least favorite.
Okay.
It gets hard because from that point on, I just love them, and I don't even hate 8 and 2. I'll still rewatch them. They're still good, but from that point on, they're all just great, and they're great in their own.
It's a 6-way tie for first.
Yeah. Well, hold on. I'm gonna rank them, but it's gonna be hard. I'm gonna say, probably 3 comes after that.
Okay.
Then probably 1.
Okay.
And then
So 2, 8, 3, 1.
and then 5, 6, and 4.
Okay. So Ghost Protocol is your favorite.
It is. Now, here's why I say the
Oh,
mood.
wait, you're missing one, right?
I don't think so. Oh, 7. Yeah, I'm missing 7.
Where would you
Because
put that?
I think I ranked that with... Oh, I'd probably put it actually... It'd be 7, 6, 4. So 4, 6, 7... Because 7 was actually really good.
So it's a top 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, 7 was great.
So if 7 and 8 were flipped, would you call this like a perfect series? Like if it ended on the note of 7?
Yeah. Well, except for 2 is in there. So
Well, but
not
you said you
perfect.
still enjoy 2.
I do enjoy it.
Like-
yeah.
like for me,
I enjoy 8 as well.
Do you know what a tier list is?
I think so.
So like where it goes like F, D, C, B, A, and S tier being at the top. And then what people do is they'll rank them, like they'll put it in the F, blah, 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 all the way up. And then even within those rows, like even if it makes it to the S tier,
Oh, yeah.
they get ranked within the S tier.
Yeah.
To me, I picture you as like having all these in S tier because they're like, it's like your favorite franchise, but just like ranked within S tier.
Sure.
So to me, I think you're willing to give this like franchise as a whole the benefit of the doubt, even with one kind of dud in there
Yeah.
that you just said you would even still rewatch. It's just not your favorite.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like if 7 and 8 were flipped, like if 8 was 7 and it kind of like started the finale vibe of this kind of epic ending, and then 8 was like the one that they ended on.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Would that, I mean, I'm sorry, and 7 was the one that they ended on. Would that make you be like, dude, they went out with like a bang and
I think so, yeah.
like this might be the perfect franchise.
Yeah. I
Or
think
closest
so.
to it.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be honest with you. I think.
I want you to lie to me.
Okay. Hang on. No. I'm going to be honest with you. I think Back to the Future has an argument for perfect franchise.
Oh, yeah.
I think Star Wars did before the new ones, the sequels.
Before the prequels. Even the prequels made it not perfect.
I think even the diehards that didn't like the prequels when they came out will admit, like now, that those movies, even if you conglomerate those with the originals, it's still, they would argue it's still a perfect franchise. They just had gripes about
I
them.
disagree. People who are like diehard Star Wars fans, I don't think they'd feel that way.
Okay.
I think they would look back and say those prequels weren't that bad, given what we got with this last trilogy. But they would remove it from being a perfect series.
Well, then I'm going to be honest with you. That's kind of a crazy way to look at it because that means Star Wars has basically never been a perfect franchise. I mean,
Not never.
Not
the
in our
trilogy.
lifetime.
Yeah, not in our lifetime.
It's never been perfect.
Well, I don't know. I was alive before episode 1 came out, so in our lifetime, just at the very, very beginning.
When did 1 come out?
Like 98 or something like that.
Okay. So yeah, for a few years it was perfect
Yeah.
before we ever cared. So I'd say Back to the Future. I haven't seen them all, but I think Mission Impossible could be thrown in the discussion. Marvel has kind of shot themselves in the foot. The MCU could have been like the perfect franchise, but they've done too much silliness.
It's kind of, with as big of a project as the MCU is, though, it's really hard to do that.
If you want to chop it and be like, the Avengers is like a perfect franchise, I'd give you that.
I wouldn't say that, but
really?
The Avengers? Yeah, because they have some duds in the Avengers franchise. Unless you're saying like Avengers 1, 2, 3.
I'm talking about the Avengers movies. There's only 4 of them.
Okay. I thought you were saying like the Avengers and like all their Avengers individual movies.
No. I'm talking about just the Avengers movies.
But you would give it perfect even with Endgame?
Yeah, because again, I'm willing to look at Endgame and be like, first of all, I'm in the minority. Most people love that movie. Most people.
Yeah.
Secondly, even me who didn't come out of it loving it, I still go back and rewatch it. It's still a good movie. I just don't like how they handled certain things in it. But to be honest with you, I could probably say that for a few different movies anywhere. I mean, I've told you a million times on this podcast how I would rewrite certain things here and there, and it's like, it's easy for me to sit here and say it. And a lot of times you agree with what I say, but that doesn't mean millions of other people would. Most people might be like, see, this is why you're not a writer. Yeah. Like, oh, okay. Yeah, that hurts.
I mean, it's true.
It is true. But, so I would give like the Avengers movies the nod. There's not many, man. There's not many franchises that are like.
Do you think Harry Potter's a perfect franchise?
Nah, not the way it ended. Again, maybe if it hadn't split the last one, it might be close. And I only say that because the first 2 are like cheesy, but they're cute because they're kids, they're really young actors. So you kind of give them a little bit of leniency. 3 to me is really, really good. That was one of the first movies I remember being like old enough to appreciate, like from that was a good film standpoint. Like even if that had not been Harry Potter, if it had been like something else but a similar story, I really liked how that story was told. And I loved the whole twist of the villain not being the villain and this like unassuming thing that's been around for like the first 2 parts of the story all of a sudden being the villain. Like I loved all that. So I really liked 3. 4, even at a young age, like when it came out and I got to first see it, I didn't like it. Grown up now, I've gone back and rewatched it a few times. I can stand it, but it's not my favorite. And it kills me because 4 is one of the better books, but they ruined it in the movie. 5 is where it kind of starts to get depressing, and I don't like that. So 5 and 6 are kind of just bleh. And then 7, it's like they took all the boring stuff, all the lead up, and we're like, we're going to make one whole movie out of that. And then basically make a magical war be the last movie. And it's like, that second one sounds really cool, but you gotta get through this first one first of all the lead up, and it kind of kills the momentum. So I have too many gripes with that franchise as a whole to call it even near perfect.
Do you know, this is probably going to be controversial, but do you know what movie franchise I would consider perfect? Spider-Man.
Which one?
All of them. All of them. Toby, Andrew, and Tom.
Yeah, that'd be controversial.
Yeah. I think they're all perfect. Especially now because they're all part of the same franchise now because in No Way Home, they came together.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't have said that before until the last time, 2 episodes ago, we were talking about the Mount Rushmore of comics, and you were telling me about how important Sam Raimi's Spider-Man were. And I've always remembered those movies because I saw them when I was a kid, and then I compared them to the newer ones. I've always remembered them being super cheesy and they were good for the time. But I went back and rewatched them after that, and I was like, those are really good movies. Like, they still hold up today. They're a lot of fun. And yeah, I mean, I think they're perfect. I love all of the Spider-Man movies. All the Sam Raimi ones. Amazing Spider-Man 2 is still my favorite Spider-Man movie, I think. I know that's super. I don't know why people hate that movie so much. But then
I'm going to have to send you some YouTube videos.
Homecoming, Far From Home. No, we recently rewatched that one. That's a really good one. And then No Way Home. They're all great. All of them.
So That's tough for me because as a diehard Spider-Man fan, I want to agree with you.
Then just do it, my friend.
I'm leaning that way. But I have to, in all fairness, I have to say this too. At what point do I draw the line for a perfect franchise is kind of what I'm asking myself. Because it's like, on certain ones, I'm saying, well, it can't be perfect because I have gripes about it. And I have gripes about the Spider-Man franchise. I do. Like even the MCU ones, like I'm not one of these people who's like, oh, he's Iron Boy, and I don't care about all that. It made sense, and like we've talked about,
it was a different universe.
They made it to where they were blatantly telling you it's not about the suit, it's about who's in it, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I don't care about all that. My main gripe with the MCU Spider-Man is kind of a funny, like, niche one, but I think a lot of Spider-Man fans would hear it and be like, holy crap, I kind of agree with you on that. There's not enough web swinging of like him in the city of New York swinging around doing the web stuff. Because those movies take place, well, the first one is pretty much all in the suburbs of New York. They even make a joke about him leaving that party and having to like run through backyards like Ferris Bueller because there's nothing for him to swing on, which is, it's a funny gag in that. But then, like, they never go to... They're in Italy in the second one, in kind of a city, and he's not swinging there, really. And then in the third one, it's really more about, like... the third one actually feels really intimate. There's, like, a lot of close quarters stuff, good and bad. The fight that takes place in the apartment complex, and then the other one that's within the Statue of Liberty. Like, there's not a lot of... And there is the one swinging scene at the beginning where he's trying to escape the paparazzi or whatever.
Well, can I ask you, now that we know there's practical swinging in this new one, there probably is going to be a lot of that in this new.
Oh, I'm hoping.
So if that happens, would you then consider it perfect?
Well,
given that the rest of the movies are great.
That's what I'm trying to get at is like, it's like, at what point do I draw the line? Because to me, that's not movie ruining. It's a gripe.
Yeah.
And it's probably a gripe that not everyone shares. So it's like,
I don't share that gripe.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, it's like, do I call it imperfect for that? I have a lot of gripes with the Amazing Spider-Man duology.
Well, they're wrong.
No, they're right.
Do you have gripes with the first one too?
Yes and no. I mean, my thing with the first one, like before the second one ever came out, my gripe with the first one was I would look at Andrew Garfield in his like baggy skater clothes and his spiky hair. And I kind of felt like what everyone else felt was like, he doesn't look like a nerd. He doesn't look like someone who's going to get bullied. He's a skater punk. He looks like he'd be doing the bullying. And actually, he kind of does in the movie. Like, he does some things in the movie that's like he picks on Flash or whatever. And it's like, that's just not... It's funny for a movie. Like, it's funny and it works and it's cool, but that's not the character. So you're not selling the character that you're playing. At least not well. Now, Spider-Man wise, he's really great. The suit and the quips. He's the only Spider-Man that I can think of that has consistently done the funny quips while he's fighting. And if you've ever in your life read a Spider-Man comic or seen a Spider-Man cartoon, a good one, he is constantly quipping at his foes while he's fighting them because he's scared. And he's doing it to like keep himself like from being scared. He's making fun of them to lighten the mood. That's what he does. And Andrew,
he's a little wimp.
He's a little wimp.
I'm just kidding.
And Andrew Garfield did it perfectly.
Yeah.
He was the best at being like having the mask on and being Spider-Man, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, my main gripe about the first one was I didn't like that he was just telling everyone his secret identity. I didn't like that he let Gwen's dad see him with the mask off. I didn't like that he showed Gwen straight up. He webbed her. I was like, dude, he doesn't do that. That's like his whole thing is he doesn't show people he's Spider-Man. And in the first movie, he shows like 2 or 3 people. I'm like, what? And then, like I said, he's a little cool as Peter Parker. I'm just like, Peter Parker's not cool. We literally talked about how in the Raimi ones, a lot of people, myself included, missed that when he gets the symbiote, his version of cool is not even cool. He's
Yeah.
not cool. He's a dweeb. He's a complete nerd. He's only cool when he's Spider-Man. That's kind of the whole point. But
Yeah.
as Peter in those movies, he's a little too cool for me. Again, not movie ruining. It's kind of just a gripe. But it's a gripe a lot of people have. I can tell you that one.
I've heard that gripe and I sympathize with it. I totally get that. But I don't. The way that I view the movies is like how there's different universes in each comic. And the reason I just view him as a different version of Peter Parker. And the reason I liked how he was portrayed in The Amazing Spider-Man was that the things you said that you hated about it. I'm like, this is a unique take. Like he's like he can't really fight. So Flash is still, when he tries to help out the kid, Flash is still bullying him. But he's also not a dweeby loser. He's like kind of cool and he skates and he wants to, and to be honest, to me, that's more how high school was for me is in classic, like when Spider-Man came out in the comics, high school was much more tribal. Like the reason Spider-Man resonated with so many kids is because he was a nerd who got superpowers and could defend himself. And it spoke to the target audience. And it was a lot more like that back then. It's like you were a prep or a nerd. As time went on, and even as I got to high school, the tribalism kind of started to fade. And
it dissolved a lot.
And people were more complicated than that. Like
Yeah.
you had preps who liked emo music, and you had
jocks who were really smart.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was.
Oh my gosh! Which real quick, kind of it's not a tangent because it's Spider-Man related, but that is why I have you seen Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, the cartoon that Disney Plus put out?
I tried to watch it, but I couldn't get into it.
Dude, oh my gosh, it is one of the best Spider-Man stories. Lincoln Riley, my man, Lincoln Riley, Tombstone. They do him so good in that show. You think from the very beginning, you know what he's gonna be, and he subverts every expectation and then does it again. He is so good. Since you already tried to watch it and couldn't get into it, I'm just going to talk about it.
All right, that's fine. I mean, I wasn't talking or anything.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry. Please hold your thought. I want to, but I'm just on that note, like to you speaking about people being more complicated than that. When you meet him in that show, he's the popular quarterback jock, and you're like, oh, I already know what this. He's going to be the bully. He ends up being and he's dating the girl that Peter has a crush on. So you know he's going to be an antagonist, at least in that regard. And he ends up being so nice. And he only wants to be friends with Peter. He wants to be his friend. He's not even, it's not self-serving. It doesn't do anything for him. He just wants to be friends with him. They end up getting partnered up. The three of him, the girl, and Peter get partnered up to be like lab partners. And Peter's like actually really cool with it. And they start getting to know each other. And like people start being nicer to Peter because they see Lincoln being nice to him, and he's just doing it to be nice. And you're like, oh my gosh, he's like really cool. And you start to really like him. Then you find out that his home life is a little troubled because he's got a younger brother who's constantly getting into trouble, and he's trying to keep him out. And his brother gets tied up with a gang, and he goes to get him out, and they basically are going to kill him. They're going to kill Lincoln or hurt him. And they're going to keep following him and trying to hurt him because he's trying to get his brother out. And they're like, he can't get out. That's not how that works. And so he gives up himself to get his brother out. And you're like, oh my gosh. And so then he's like trying to balance his school life. And like, he has good grades and he's the quarterback. He has a future. But this gang is like on him. And they're like, dude, you better, when I call, you show up. He's like, if you don't, we'll come to the school and get you. I don't care. And he looks over and they have like people parked outside the football field about to come in. And he's like, don't send them in here. Like, I don't need anyone knowing I'm associated with y'all. I'm coming. So he like has to give up all his dreams, all his aspirations to go do this so they don't hurt his family or him. And then in the middle of all that, he's still like, he's trying to help them. He's like learning about the brotherhood of that. And it's like, kind of corrupting him, but he's still a good person on the outside. But because of that, he's like distancing himself from people, and then blah, 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 blah. And then he gets the thing and it alludes to him becoming Tombstone later. And it's like, oh my God, that's so tragic. Like, you're going to be seeing him be a villain for Spider-Man, who you also love in this show. And you love him as a human, but he's going to be a foe for him. And you're going to just watch his whole life dissolve in front of it's so tragic. It's so good, dude. And that's not even getting into all the Osborn stuff. And I can't believe you didn't like that show. It's so good. It's so good.
I mean, I just barely started it and didn't really. It felt more like kiddish, you know.
I could see that for like the first couple episodes, but it isn't. It's really complex. It's very good.
All right.
Highly would recommend you give it another shot.
Okay.
There were some chill-inducing moments and some cool
Interesting.
cameos.
Well, I got a lot of stuff to watch. I got Marvel Zombies, My Friendly Neighborhood
That
Spider-Man.
won't take you. That Marvel Zombies. I actually was going to tell you this early. It was supposed to be a movie.
Oh.
It was going to be one animated movie. They chopped it up and made it into episodes of a show so they could put Spider-Man in it. Because they weren't allowed to put him in it if it was a movie, even though it's animated. So they kind of cheated the system and made it into a show and episodes so they could have him in there.
Interesting.
So it's not long. It's like each one's like 25, 30 minutes.
Okay. That's totally doable.
But anyway, back to what you were saying. I'm sorry. You were
okay.
talking about him, as a character when he was written, speaking to a certain audience, but things have changed. And because I was talking about Andrew Garfield being a little cool.
All the things that all the things that you described about Tombstone is why I liked Peter Parker in the Andrew Garfield ones. And I always, every time a reboot gets made, I always think this is going to be a different take on the character.
Oh, of course.
Like they're going to have a different approach. And I liked it. I thought it was really cool. It made him unique.
Well, to be fair, I mean, in the MCU version, Tom Holland is a nerd. But you don't see him getting bullied the way Tobey Maguire did,
Right.
or even Andrew Garfield. His antagonist is on the debate team with him. Like he's also kind of it kind of leans more into like you're talking about like this new age thing where like people are just more complicated than that.
Yeah.
You can have a person who's really smart and they're kind of just a jerk because they're a jerk, but like they're still kind of nerdy too.
And his bully in Tom Holland's series is also likable too.
Yeah, you see some pieces of his backstory and you're like, oh, that's actually kind of really sad.
Yeah.
So it's and he's kind of funny. Like
and the funny thing about him too is he loves Spider-Man,
right?
But he hates Peter.
Actually, that's a common thing for Flash Thompson's character.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's like he really admires Spider-Man because he's like this alpha male and Spider-Man's all strong and he beats up people. But he hates Peter. That's it's always kind of a little funny nod to Flash being dumb. Have I ever told you about the story run called Agent Venom?
No.
Where Flash Thompson gets I think cancer, and he loses all his athletic ability, and he can't be an athlete anymore. He's out of high school and stuff. I think he's like a pro athlete or something, or a collegiate one. I forget. I haven't read it in a long time, but. He gets the symbiote and he becomes a Venom, and it basically stops it stops him from dying. And when he's Venom, he's able to be all agile and athletic again. But he's not like a fully Venom. He's they call him Agent Venom. He looks different. He looks really cool. But he also is kind of more like a good guy, and he goes on to kind of be kind of like a little anti-hero. I think he carries guns and stuff, but he's like a good guy.
Interesting.
Pretty cool.
Very cool.
That was not convincing. No, it's very cool. Very, very cool. Can we talk about anything else? But yeah, no, I don't know, man. Yeah, Mission Impossible, Back to the Future. I'd give you Spider-Man.
Without The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings would have been a perfect franchise.
Lord of the Rings, that's a good one. That would. I'll tell you what, Lord of the Rings, is a perfect franchise. Yeah. It's a perfect trilogy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's one of the few trilogy cinematic, franchises or whatever that has almost no there's almost no gripes about it from the fans. People who really loved the books and the story have some nitpicks about it that they don't like, but overall they were very satisfied.
Well, and it's funny, The Hobbit kind of did the 2-part thing. It's only 3 movies, but the last 2 could have been 1. It could have been a duology, and it probably would have done a lot better.
It could have been 1 movie.
It could have been, but I'm saying if they were just dead set on at least making 2, they could have gotten away with 2, and it would have been better. Than the 3. But they split it.
They should have just done 1.
Another example.
It is another example. They really should have just done 1 though, because the movies, the Lord of the Rings movies, are really, really long movies. Like, that's one of the things that fans of the franchises love about it.
That's true. They could have just done 1 long movie.
Exactly. Just do 1 long Hobbit movie and don't include, just do what the book says, you know?
That's actually fair. Can you imagine a world where that happens and Lord of the Rings is still like king of all fantasy franchises?
Yeah. Well, to be honest, there's not really any fantasy movie franchises out there.
There's really not. I mean, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings,
Narnia, kind of, but
Narnia, which Narnia doesn't get a lot of love anymore. That was bigger when we were in like high school and middle school.
The first movie was great.
Would you call? Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. That was great.
Yeah, I actually got taken to that by my 5th grade teacher. She took a few of us who did like the reading club thing. She had read us that book in class, and the people who read the most pages that month, she took like 3 or 4 or 5 of us. Our parents dropped us off at the theater with her, and we went and saw it.
Oh, that's really cool.
It was pretty cool. And I remember that. It was a good movie.
Yeah.
I was going to say, would you consider Hunger Games a fantasy?
No,
franchise?
that's young adult dystopian.
Okay.
It's more sci-fi than fantasy anyway.
I didn't think so, but
dystopian is typically a sci-fi subgenre.
A lot of my tastes get kind of jumbled, and I end up just calling everything speculative fiction because it's all in that bubble.
I mean, that's why fantasy and sci-fi has the same section in bookstores and stuff. But a lot of people like hate that they're lumped together like that.
I get it, but I mean, I also get why they're lumped together.
Yeah, I feel the same exact way.
I feel like they both kind of start crossing some lines of each other.
Well, that's what's so complicated about it, because they do, but readers rarely cross over. Like, fantasy readers almost never read sci-fi and vice versa.
Which is crazy to me.
I know.
Crazy to me.
I'm like that. I don't read sci-fi. I'll read fantasy. Yeah, I don't read any sci-fi.
Oh, man, dude.
Though there's one sci-fi.
Project Hail Mary.
Yeah, there you go.
You got to read that.
Well, and see, this is another reason why it's confusing, is because there's different types of fantasy and there's different types of sci-fi. And like,
that's true.
Like, for instance, Star Wars is a sci-fi that leans much more to fantasy.
Yeah.
Because it's like not a real place. It's all these galaxies that don't exist. There's different creatures. There's lore.
Yep.
Project Hail Mary is like, this could happen in the real world.
Yeah.
You know,
that's very fair. And to that point, like Narnia.
Yeah.
Takes place in a whole other world.
But
it based in our world, but in a whole other world. And like Harry Potter is like, it's all on Earth.
Yeah.
It's just kind of the thing you're supposed to buy into is that normal non-magical people just can't see a lot of this stuff, but it's all on Earth.
Right.
So that's a fair point. It's different levels of like high fantasy, low fantasy, I guess high sci-fi, low sci-fi. I don't know if that's the correct term, but that's fair. That's fair.
And then there's space fantasy, which is a full-on blend of the genres.
Yeah.
Which I think is a cool idea. I would read that, but I haven't found anything that...
I've actually really wanted to write something like that. I just can't, because I can't.
That's fair. That's why you're not a writer.
That's true. But at least I've seen Lord of the Rings.
They'll make me cry.
So where are we at? Okay, so we're kind of coming up on time here. So I guess...
I want to talk about that trailer.
Yeah, let's kind of go ahead and taper off the franchise talk.
I don't have any tape on me.
I think there's maybe here, we'll use this. Opa.
Muzzle tough.
But yeah, we're gonna leave behind the franchise talk. I'm glad you somewhat enjoyed the ending of Mission Impossible. I hate that it wasn't like perfection for you. I was really expecting you to be like, dude, it was so perfect. I'm gonna miss it.
I was kind of expecting that too. Maybe that's why it was such a letdown.
That's fair.
They got my expectations so high.
Yeah.
I feel like if you just saw that movie and you hadn't seen any other movie in the franchise, you'd be like, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
You know.
So we're gonna kind of finish up with you had a trailer you want to specifically talk about because you have been adamant on this podcast that you are itching for some original content.
Oh yeah.
You're done with the sequels, you're done with the remakes, you're done with the prequels. You want something original. And you think you may have found it in an upcoming movie called Dust Bunny.
Yeah.
So run us through that a little bit.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen the trailer, go look it up. It's a really cool. One of my favorite things about movies from the past, like there was this golden era of cinema that we've talked about, where like Back to the Future is a good example. Like these original ideas. School of Rock is a great example. It's like such a unique idea where this washed up, failed musician gets this elementary school, prep school kids to start a band and do the Battle of the Bands. Like it's a funny idea. There was all kinds of original ideas that came out for movies, and that was kind of the thing you expected when you went to a movie and trailers were coming up. You were like, what's going to be the unique spin this time?
Yeah.
And that's something that I've really missed because a lot of it's just turning into remakes and reboots, and I'm not totally opposed to those, but it feels like that's the vast majority of what we get. And even if it is an original idea, it's usually tied to something that's been done before. So I saw this trailer for a movie called Dust Bunny. All these trailers that I see pop up on my Twitter feed, like they're usually Marvel updates or something. And I was like, Dust Bunny, what's this? And then I read the little synopsis that it's a little girl who hires a monster killer to get the monster under her bed. That immediately was like, that's an interesting concept. I've never heard that before. And then I look it up and I watched the trailer and it looks awesome. It looks like this fantasy type movie where like you have this concept that there's this whole world and girls aren't, or little children aren't crazy. There actually are monsters under their bed.
Yeah.
And she goes and finds this secret world where she hires an assassin, and he like actually is intimidating. He's like, what makes you think I kill monsters? Like, oh, it's a really unique idea for a movie.
Played by Mads Mikkelsen, by the way.
Yeah. Great casting choice. Like that it was awesome. I don't know. I'd like to hear what your thoughts are after seeing the trailer.
So I mean, I the first time I watched it, and I rewatched it before the podcast just to refresh on it, but I was confused because I was like, what the heck is going on here? Rewatching it, I think I liked it more the second time because I kind of knew, I guess, what to expect going in a little bit of like. So I'll compare it. You know the new movie that's out right now, One Battle After Another with
No, I'm serious. I don't know that movie.
I know, but I knew you weren't going to know it by the title. I was going to continue describing it, and you went, no.
My bad.
No, you're good. With Leonardo DiCaprio, where he's like playing a paranoid. Yeah. The first trailer we saw for that, we saw when we went to see
Fantastic
Four. And I was like, this looks awful. What the heck is Leonardo DiCaprio doing in this? This looks terrible.
Yeah, it looked really bad.
It looked awful. I had no idea what was going on. I was like, what is this movie about? And why does he just look like a crazy person? Like at first, the first few clips, I thought it was going to be like funny.
Mm-hmm.
Then it got like really serious. And then it like alluded to some things that like maybe you would understand if you saw the movie, but just in a trailer context made no sense. I was like, what? Then I saw it again and I was like, okay, I'm kind of following it a little better. Then I saw a different trailer. And the different trailer mixed with me seeing the other one twice kind of sold me on like, okay, that actually looks interesting. It did a much better job of conveying like what the story is here. When he was younger, he met a girl. They were like rebels fighting against like this oppressive military force in some country. I don't know where. I haven't seen the movie. And they did some things to like really, really, really screw with the military. And I'm assuming he's from the US. The military looks like they're US military, but he's living in this country and he probably like has fallen in love with this country and then this girl and these people. So he's like helping them fight against this force. Well, him and the woman, I guess, end up getting married. They have a child. The woman dies. Now, the implication in the trailer, I guess, is that they caught her and killed her. So all he has left is his daughter. But he knows that they're after him. So that's why he's like a paranoid freak or whatever. All that, I was like, okay, that looks really cool. Because what the movie is actually seems to be about is they find his daughter and they take her to get to him. And he kind of like almost like Taken, except they're trying to get him to come out. I was like, that looks really cool. The first time I watched this trailer was similar. I was like, I have no idea what's going on here. I don't get this at all. Is this supposed to be literal? Is it supposed to be metaphoric? Is this little girl just like kind of a naive kid who thinks that this man kills monsters and for some reason he's going along with it? Or is this like he really does? Like they show clips of him fighting, but it's very quick and very blurry and you don't know who he's fighting or what he's fighting. So I don't know if the monsters are like legitimate or if this is all kind of going to be like a metaphor for something. And also tone wise, really could not stay on track with it. Some of the first clips in that trailer, and especially with the musical notes that hit, it feels very horror-esque.
Yeah.
And I was like, why is Daniel sending me this? I was like, he ain't going to watch it. I'm not going to watch this. We're not going to watch this. But then later, like you said, like some things happen, you're like, okay, that's kind of BA. And then some things happen, like, that's kind of funny. And it's like, okay, is this like an action, like a BA action movie? Or is it like a kind of a funny leaning action, like a comedy action? Or is it scary? Or is it a mix? Or I don't know. I was just very all over the place. The second time watching it, I think knowing all that going into it, I was able to pay attention to a lot more of the like details of stuff. And I do think to some extent this is going to be like metaphoric. So I think that the girl thinks that there's monsters under her bed. I think she does go find this guy for whatever reason. There's one part in the trailer where he tells her monsters didn't come eat your parents. Those were men and they're looking for me. So I think he's got like a troubled past and he sees like a light of hope in this little innocent girl who's trying to get him to kill the monster under her bed. And I think at the end, it's going to be like, it's just a dust bunny, i.e. the title. But like, she's going to learn something through being with him and he's trying to protect her because I think her parents do get taken or hurt or something in the process of like these people coming for him or something. Because there's also a scene where he sits down with a woman and the woman says, because he says something about, I don't believe in monsters or something. And she says, well, you're a monster. Does the girl believe in you? And I was like, woo, that's a great line. Oh my gosh. So I think I grasped it a little bit better the second time. Now, to your other point, it looks very cool.
Yeah.
I can't think of another movie that visually looks, the color grading, the lighting, the way when he's swinging his knives around, they spark off of stuff. And it just looks, it gives it a fantastical element.
Yeah. It looks unique.
It does.
Yeah.
It looks very unique. So I'm very intrigued.
The fact that you're questioning, is this metaphorical? That's what I loved so much about it.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about this before. It's like everything feels like it has to be perfectly tailored to a market.
Right.
To where, this is going to appeal to this really niche, you know exactly what kind of movie it is. And I understand that from a marketing and even from a serving your audience perspective,
Right.
I totally get that. But I also, I want people to take risks and try something that hasn't been tried before.
Yeah.
And like seeing that was like, it made me, as someone who likes fantasy and who likes action and stuff, like it made me go like, I've never seen this concept before.
Yeah.
So I don't think I think it's partially metaphorical. Like but the fact that we're even having this discussion and we're trying to figure out what it is,
That's what I like about
Off
it.
a trailer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like you don't quite know, but you know enough to be like, this looks interesting.
Yeah.
I got to check it out.
It's definitely piqued my interest.
Yeah.
I'm for sure down to go see this when does it come out?
I don't know.
Did it say? I don't know if
it said.
Yeah, we'll have to do some digging on that. Or do you have anything else to say on it while I do a quick Google?
Well, I'll just say,
Google.
like, do you feel this way too? Because I feel like I wouldn't necessarily be surprised either way if it was totally metaphorical or if it ended up being a more fantasy type.
We missed it.
We missed it?
Yeah.
It already came out?
Yeah.
No way.
That shows how much promotion they did for it.
Why?
Let me look. Well, I say we missed it. What I mean by that is it's out. It might still be in theaters, but it is out.
Gosh,
It said it
why
released.
would they not push that movie?
It said it released September 9th. Let me see. Theaters. Let's look here. I'm sorry for this pause, guys.
That's okay. We'll just, you're fired.
Yeah, it's not even playing in the Columbiana Grand.
It's probably not playing anywhere. That's so lame. Man, see, this is why those movies don't get made.
Yep.
It's because I guarantee most people listening to this haven't even heard about this movie. You know, and we only have 5 people who listen to this.
That's true.
Which is 5 more than last episode. No, I'm joking.
5 more than. Yeah, I searched it on the thing and it doesn't even pop up at all as a movie showing in the
that's
Regal.
so lame.
That's pretty wild.
It is. It
Or
is
did
wild.
it maybe it was supposed to release straight to digital?
I don't know. Oh, it's on Prime Video.
It must be a Prime movie.
It's available to rent, so it's not a Prime movie.
By the way, it's listed as horror action.
Yeah, I saw that, horror thriller. So if it ends up being a horror, then I'm probably going to hate it. And I'm also going to hate the trailer. Because the thing that I liked about it is it started out, like you said, it started out with a horror vibe that I was like, ooh, I don't think I'm going to like this. And then it switched, and I was like, whoa, this looks cool. If it leans more on the thriller, I'll probably like it. I don't know. I'm going to have to watch it now to see. Because I'm really interested to see that movie.
Yeah, I might still check it out. How much is it to rent? Did you see?
$2.99.
That's not bad.
Okay, well, we kind of have to wrap it up right now.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, I guess time will tell on that one. Maybe we'll check that out and review it here on an episode coming up. But guys, thank you as always for tuning in. I know that was a little disjointed there at the end, but we were trying to do some figuring out because that really threw me for a loop that it was already out and I had not heard that.
Me too.
But thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode, enjoyed the news and the rambling and the whatnot. Please be sure to like, subscribe, share around, tell people about the show, and also tune in next time for our big 20th episode where we're going to hopefully do something cool and fun and special that y'all will enjoy.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a huge letdown.
Huge letdown. Epic letdown.
Is that it? Woo!